It's pretty mind-blowing when you hear that some experts think agents as a service could become even bigger than the software as a service market.
Which is already huge, right? Like, what, $300 billion?
Exactly. And get this spending on what they call vertical agents, AI helders built for specific industries, it saw a 12 times increase.
Wow.
In just the last year. So if you're trying to wrap your head around what this all means for businesses, especially the smaller ones, you've definitely landed in the right place.
Absolutely. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a really interesting application of this Santos idea, the vertical AI master agent.
Okay.
And we're focusing specifically on how it can help business-to-consumer, small and medium-sized businesses.
Right.
B2C SMBs.
Right.
We've got some fantastic material to work with, actually. One source gives us a really detailed look at all the different parts, the components of this kind of agent. And the other is a really insightful YouTube video. It's got real-world examples and even an interview with someone who's already getting great results using AI agents in their business.
Exactly. So it's like we've got the blueprint and the real-world stories.
That's a good way to put it.
We have this written description laying out the structure, the nuts and bolts, and then this video that shows similar tech actually doing stuff, plus we hear from someone who's, boosting their revenue with it.
And what we're going to unpack for you today is exactly how these vertical AI master agents work for those B2C SMBs.
Okay.
We'll break down the different modules, they call them sub-agents,
Correct.
explain what each one does,
Right.
and tie it all back to those real-world examples we found. And we'll also get into the strategy behind how a business would actually develop and use these effectively.
Sounds good. Okay, let's dive in.
So the first thing to grasp is that this master agent isn't like one giant AI brain.
Right, not just one thing.
No, it's actually more like a collection of smaller, focused AI units. They call them sub-agents or SS.
Okay, SAs, like a team of specialists.
Precisely. Each one handles a specific task, a specific part of the business workflow.
Makes sense.
And our source material maps out some key ones. First up, social media campaign, deploy and manage.
Okay, social media.
Now, what's really interesting here, it's not just about, scheduling posts. The YouTube video showed an example where the AI was handling pretty much the whole marketing process, like creating the content, finding leads, even booking appointments.
Wow. Without a marketing person involved?
Apparently so.
All automated.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
So for a B2C business, say a local bookstore, their social media SA could automatically post about new books or events on Instagram, right? But maybe it also runs targeted ads to locals who like reading.
Exactly. It could absolutely do that. And building right on that, the next SA is the content creator.
Ah, okay. So one deploys, one creates.
You got it. This SA makes the actual marketing stuff. So for your bookstore example, while one SA is posting to Instagram,
the content creator SA is writing those catchy captions, maybe even generating cool images of the books using AI.
Right. Or like for a B2C bakery, picture this SA writing yummy descriptions and making nice visuals of cakes and things to share online.
It takes a big task off the owner's plate, doesn't it?
Totally.
Then there's the marketing management SA. Now, if you think about how these pieces fit, this one is kind of like the conductor. It oversees and coordinates the other marketing SA, the social media one, the content one.
Ah, okay. Like quality control and strategy.
Exactly. Making sure there's a consistent message, a coherent strategy, maybe for, say, a local gym promoting its classes.
That makes sense. You definitely need something keeping all the marketing stuff aligned.
Okay.
Okay, what's next?
The next one listed is follow up with CRM integration.
CRM integration. That sounds important.
It's key. The YouTube interview really highlighted this. They talked about an AI agent making calls and sending texts immediately after someone filled out a Facebook form.
Immediately.
Wow. And that speed, that efficiency, that's what the CRM integration enables. Think about an online language learning platform. Okay. This SA could automatically send out personalized follow-up emails to people who maybe signed up for a free trial, giving them more info, answering basic questions.
And it's all logged in their customer system, their CRM.
Exactly. So they have a complete record of every touch point.
Got it. And right after that one, you have outbound sales with CRM integration.
Right. So this is more proactive, reaching out to potential customers.
Okay.
The person in the YouTube video mentioned their AI calling leads almost instantly.
So not just follow-up, but actually initiating contact based on interest.
Precisely. For maybe a B2C meal kit service?
Yeah.
Imagine an AI reaching out to people who browse specific kits on their website, maybe offering a first loan discount.
And again, tracked in the CRM.
Always tracked in the CRM. That proactive outreach driven by the data you already have is really powerful.
Okay, so that's outbound. What about incoming?
That brings us to inbound sales with CRM integration, handling inquiries coming into the business.
Right.
The YouTube demo is pretty cool here. It showed an AI answering questions, and it could even transfer a call to another AI, like designated as the sales department.
Transferring to another AI, that's pretty advanced.
But it is, yeah.
So for like a local coffee shop that has online ordering, this could be an AI taking those orders online, answering questions about the menu or delivery times, maybe handling simple changes.
And updating the CRM with what that customer likes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on, next is customer support with CRM integration.
Customer service,
Yeah.
always a big one.
Definitely. And the YouTube example really stressed the potential here. The AI handled lots of common service tasks with no human needing to step in.
Okay, like what kind of tasks?
Well, think about a B2C streaming service like Netflix or something.
yeah.
Their customer support SA could maybe answer all the FAQs about subscription plans, troubleshoot basic login issues, guide people through setup.
And because it's linked to the CRM, the support history is all there for that customer.
Exactly. Full context.
Makes sense. What's after support?
Next up is accounting with accounting SaaS integration. So automating the financial records.
Okay, bookkeeping.
Right. And the crucial bit here is the integration with existing accounting software. The software as a service platforms people already use.
Like QuickBooks or Xero.
Precisely. Imagine the sales data from your other systems just flowing automatically into your accounting software.
Oh, that would save hours. No more manual data entry.
That's the goal. So for a small BDC shop selling crafts online, this SA could track sales, log expenses from receipts, maybe generate basic reports, all by talking directly to their accounting software.
Very useful. Okay, what else is in this master agent?
Then we have Nurture, tracking farming from CRM.
Nurture, like keeping customers happy.
Exactly. Keeping existing customers engaged. The YouTube interview mentioned having different nurture paths or sequences based on what customers have done before.
Okay, so personalized engagement.
Yeah. Think of a B2C winery with a loyalty program.
All right.
This SA could look at past purchases in the CRM and send personalized emails, recommending new wines someone might like or invites to special tastings.
Keeping them connected to the brand. I like it.
Following that is database reactivation from CRM.
Database reactivation sounds like waking up old contacts.
That's exactly it. The YouTube interview specifically called out the value in this, reaching out to old leads or customers who haven't bought anything or interacted in a while.
Right, people who've gone cold.
Yeah. So maybe for a B2C business running escape rooms.
Okay.
This could be an AI reaching out to people who visited maybe a year ago, telling them about cool new rooms they've added.
Trying to bring them back in. Smart.
Potentially brings back lost revenue.
Right.
And finally, the last one listed is returns.
Returns. Always a tricky process.
Can be. This essay focuses on making that smoother, more automated.
How so?
Well, for a B2C online clothing store, for instance, it could be an AI guiding the customer through the return steps online, maybe generating the shipping label automatically.
Nice.
And even updating the inventory system when the item gets back.
Okay, that covers a lot of ground. From marketing to sales to support to finance, even returns.
It really does span the core B2C operations. But, and this is really important, these subagents aren't all just switched on at once.
Right, you wouldn't just dump all that on a business.
No. Our written source emphasizes they're built and deployed individually, one by one.
And who decides the order?
The business director, the SMB owner, gets to weigh in heavily based on their biggest pain point.
Okay, so the business owner says, this is what's killing me right now, and that's where they start.
Pretty much. ZRecon, the AI provider mentioned in our source, they apparently start with deep conversations to really figure out what's causing the most grief. Where's too much time being spent? Where are the biggest bottlenecks or slowdowns?
So that number one problem dictates the first essay to build.
Often, yes. However, and this is a crucial point, while the business director's priorities are really important, ZRecon also has to think about the logical way to develop these things. What makes sense technically?
Right, because some things might depend on others.
Exactly. So it brings up a really interesting question. How do you balance what the client wants right now with what's technically sound and best for the long run?
Yeah, That's the big challenge, isn't it? How does ZRecon figure out the best order? It can't just be taking requests, can it? There needs to be some strategy.
Precisely. One way could be really detailed initial chats, not just what's your biggest problem, but asking specific, quantifiable questions. Like, how many hours a week does your team actually spend manually following up leads? Or what percentage of online questions do you estimate go unanswered for more than an hour?
Ah, getting concrete numbers.
Data.
Exactly. Getting that data helps pinpoint where the biggest impact lies.
Or asking about the biggest bottlenecks in their current workflow. Where do things always seem to get stuck or feel really clunky? Yes. And then ZRecon could actually explain the logical connections.
How so?
They could say something like, look, I know you really want that outbound sales agent firing on all cylinders right away, but if we integrate it properly with your CRM first, even if CRM isn't your absolute #1 pain point right now, that sales agent will be so much more effective because it'll know who it's talking to.
Great, showing how one piece enables another, laying the foundation.
It's about painting that bigger picture of how these AI helpers work best together, maybe starting with a core piece, like getting the CRM fully integrated.
Even if it's not the flashiest part.
Right. It might unlock bigger benefits for several other sales and marketing days later on. It's like, building a strong foundation before you put up the walls.
That makes sense. A phased approach.
Exactly. A phased implementation strategy could be really smart. You start with an SA that hits a major pain point, sure, but maybe one that also provides essential data or sets up integrations that others can then leverage.
That actually reminds me of the YouTube interview. Didn't the person there say starting with an AI agent for initial lead follow-up calls was a really good first step for them?
Yes, they did. That's a perfect real-world example. Tackling a big pain point slow follow-up early on.
So you get a win, but it also might improve data capture for other future agents.
Potentially, yes. And when it comes to balancing the owner's wishes with this logic, keeping them happy and bought in is obviously crucial.
Of course.
So maybe ZRecon could prioritize building a smaller but highly desired SA early on, just to show some quick results, build that trust.
Get some momentum going.
Exactly. Even if, technically, another piece might be more foundational, a quick win can build that confidence.
That's a smart approach. Okay, so you build these essays one by one, but eventually you need something managing them all, right? That master agent.
Correct. Once you have a set, or a cluster, as the source calls it, of S's developed and tested, ZRecon creates that master AI agent to oversee and coordinate them, make sure they're all working together smoothly.
And these clusters are custom for each business.
Absolutely. It's really important to remember that. These groupings are designed specifically for each business director. They get the final say on which SAs go in.
And they could even suggest new ones.
Totally. If they have a specific need not covered by the standard modules, they can propose a new SA.
Yeah.
It's meant to be adaptable.
Okay, so it's a really flexible, personalized system tailored to the specific headaches and goals of each B2C small business. That's cool.
It really is.
Okay, so for everyone listening, let's quickly recap. We've looked at how these vertical AI master agents are built from these individual sub-agents, right?
Right, these specialists.
Each handling a key part of a B2C SMB's operations, social media, sales follow-up, customer service, even accounting basics. And we talked about the strategy involved in deciding which agent to build first, trying to balance the owner's immediate pain points with a logical way to build out the whole system.
Yeah, that balancing act.
It really does seem like a game-changing way for small businesses to automate crucial parts of what they do every day.
Absolutely. I think the real insight here, the aha moment, is the potential for small business owners to just free up so much of their time and mental energy.
Right. Automating those essential but maybe repetitive tasks.
Exactly. Imagine being able to step back from the constant grind of those operational details and actually focus on the bigger picture. Strategic growth, new ideas, innovation.
Yeah, it's not about technology overwhelming you. It's about using it smartly to get ahead.
That's the promise anyway.
So here's something for you listening to really chew on, thinking about all those different sub-agents we discussed today.
Yeah.
Which single automation do you think would make the biggest difference for a B2C business? Could be one you own, work for, or just shop at.
Ooh, good question.
And what new possibilities would that one automation unlock for them? Would be that instant lead follow-up, the proactive sales, or maybe something like smoothing out the returns process.
It really makes you think about the specific bottlenecks in different businesses.
It does. Hopefully, this deep dive has given everyone a solid framework for understanding agents as a service and these vertical AI agents.
Yeah. You now have the core concepts, how the pieces fit together, and how this technology could be applied. It's a foundation to explore further based on your own interests.
Definitely a whole new world of automation opening up, and understanding these basics is really that critical first step.